So let's dive into it and not waste any more time. River Island's guest line. Years with ESPN, the coach, you know him, you love him. It's Herm Edwards right here on Willard and Dibbs, 95.7 The Game. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I am well. I think we're all excited. I was in studio last week. I made my journey to Bristol to talk about football, and obviously we're all excited about this season. And a lot of things have happened since the offseason. When you think about it, I was visiting and said, there's 10 new head coaches, and people don't realize there's 20 new coordinators too. So that's a lot of change, but it's going to be fun to watch.
I tell you what, when you mentioned the journey to Bristol, and I'm thinking about how many years you've been doing that, how many years you've been coaching. My partner and I were just having a conversation a short time ago about joint practices, and I'm sure you hear this all the time. People are like, man, stop with the August injuries. Let's just do away with the preseason. I'd love your perspective on where you've seen the game and that conversation go from when you started until now, and what do you think of it?
Well, when I started, now I'm going to age myself. There was actually 6 preseason games.
6.
There was only 14 regular season games. So how about that one, right?
Wow.
And yeah, six of them. Six. I came in the league in 1977 with the Eagles. There was 6 preseason games, 14 regular. Now, here was the deal. I knew early I was going to be a starter, so Dick Vermeil told me, he says, hey, look, in the preseason, he says, you go out there with the vets because you're a starter. He said, in the second quarter, you ain't leaving the field. Just stay out there. Just keep playing. I got to get you experience. And so he was correct because anything else, these young guys need to learn how to play. And the only way to do that is through playing. I mean, I always say this. It's kind of funny about football players. You know what they do for a living? They play football. I watch half of them now. They wear baseball hats on the sideline. Like, what are you doing? You're a football player. It's football time. You got to play football. That's how you get better when you play football. All I know is this. What I witnessed this weekend, I watched, in my opinion, the best player in football, Josh Allen. It was like, hey, I'm playing not just one series. I'm going to play a couple series. And I said, it's refreshing. He's a football player. Go play football. Stop worrying about getting hurt. Because as soon as you think you're going to get hurt, you're getting hurt. Right? And for me, this is what people are missing with the preseason. They've cut it down. I get it. There's more regular season games. I'm okay with all that. But understand this. You know who the preseason games are really important for? Is your staff, especially when you got a new one. You want to see how these guys coach. Not in practice, but in the game. And that's the preseason. You want to see how the offensive coordinator is adjusted, how the defensive line coach is talking to his coaches, how the secondary coach is talking. You haven't worked with a lot of these guys. How do they coach on game day? That's what I want to know in the preseason. How they handling the players? Because when them players come off the field, you know what they want? They want answers. You got to fix them. They want answers.
Has the preseason become, though, to the point where, especially with all the money that's being doled out, Herm, is it too dangerous for guys who are making, like, the gigantic money?
Let me ask you something. These guys get hurt in practice.
Yeah?
Before they even play in a preseason game. Some of these guys are already hurt. Yeah, I mean, people are worried about that. I get it. But you know what? They're football players. Josh Allen wasn't worried about it. He went out there, not only played one series, he played 2 because the first series they didn't score. They kicked the field goal. So he stayed out there. He says, you know what? Play another series, man. We got to score a touchdown. This Moore kid I got, we got to work together for a little while, so I got to play another series. He's the best player in football, in my opinion. He played, right? I mean, he didn't wear his baseball hat. He went out there and played. I mean, it's crazy. Guys are football players. Stop it. Stop worrying about getting hurt. That's the last thing I ever worried about, was getting hurt. The last thing. I never missed a practice. I never missed a start. Period.
The great Herm Edwards. Yeah, he is with us here, Willard and Dibbs, 95.7 The Game. I'm sure you get it, though, Coach, especially around these parts. This fan base is they're triggered by this. And so I really understand it. I get where you're coming from, too. But I don't know. What is your take on this discussion that won't go away in the Bay Area, which is why do they seemingly have the most or close to it injured players year in and year out?
I have no idea. That's puzzling to me. And I think that one time they were checking, where they practiced at, and said, "Does that have something to do with it?" No. I don't know. I mean, and I'm a 49er fan. Look, the GM is a close friend, John, and everybody knows it. He played for me in Tampa. So I'm a close friend. I want the 49ers to be 7. I hate for guys to get hurt. And for some reason, and you know what's funny? They haven't played a game yet. And guys are getting hurt. How about that?
Yeah, right. I mean, one of those guys is Ricky Pearsall, who got hurt last year, and then he went through the offseason. He came back after 2 or 3 days, and he got hurt again. Have you been in touch with Ricky at all? And have you talked to him about, what his journey is going to be like?
I have not, but I do know this. Coaching him, you got to protect Ricky from Ricky. He's a full speed guy. He don't know how to practice any other way. And sometimes you got to just protect him from himself. Right? You just do. So, there's players like that. You say, wait a minute now, this guy, and he gets a little nicked. So you got to have a plan for him. And I'm pretty sure Kyle and those guys had a plan for him. I'm just hoping that, he can recover from this, because after a while, it just becomes, again, right? And everybody starts saying, again, right? And you don't want that for any player.
Herm, I would love your take on the 49er receiving core now that we know that Ricky is not going to be a part of it this year. Mike Evans, age 32. They bring Debo back. There's a lot of buzz about Stribling, and then you sprinkle in Demarcus Robinson and Christian Kirk and maybe some other young guys. What do you think of the viability of this group?
Well, I know one thing, that Mike Evans fella, he can still play, and maybe one of the greatest football players to ever play was a 49er, and he played wide receiver. And one route that you couldn't stop when he ran it, and that's Jerry Rice, a slant. I don't care what coverage you're in. You ain't covering the slant. You ain't covering it. Well, Mike Evans is there to run slants. Now, he's going to run a lot of other routes, but when you need a play, you run him on the slant. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. He can read defenses. And Purdy's pretty accurate. He'll keep the chains moving for him. All the rest of those guys I think they all fit in. Coach Shanahan will find a way to distribute the ball to them. But at the end of the day, Evans, watch what I say, on a 5-yard slant, just a little simple slant football, run a slant. You can run it against any coverage. You're going to throw it to them, and all of a sudden they're going to be in 2nd and 4. And 2nd and 4 is the worst down you could be in as a defense. 2nd and 4 is just terrible, because you're sitting there going, here we go. We're going to have to play this series out unless they turn the ball over. We're going another series because it's 2nd and 4, right? They got a heck of a running back. We know who that is. McCaffrey. He can catch it. He can run it. All right? Got a good tight end. All right? Most of these offenses in today's world, they get a tight end that can catch and a running back can catch. That's a bad matchup for defense. They got 2 of them. They got a really good tight end and they got a heck of a runner.
When you look at that runner, Christian McCaffrey, and you look at his workload last year, which was, more than 400 touches, is that something for you as a coach? Do you look at those touches and you think, you know what, we maybe need to dial that back a little bit, or new year, new guy, let's go do it?
Well, you want to get the ball to your best players. He happens to be one, but Evans will help that now. Evans will help that. It'll take a lot of stress off him because of the situation you can be in. But you got to get in the ball. But you're right. I mean, he only got so many hits in him. He only got so many carries in him, any football player. And you want to keep this guy knowing when December hits that he's okay, that he's good. He's not beat up, right? Because that's when the playoffs start.
Herm Edwards joining us right here on Willard and Dibbs 95.7 The Game. Coach, your analysis on the NFC West, we're looking forward to this. How do you sort of assess the Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, who has an advantage, who has an edge, et cetera? What do you see here?
Well, Look, I ain't going to be a homer, but this is a division was really one of the best divisions in football last year. All these teams won 10 or more games, except for Arizona. The teams you mentioned. Seattle ends up, winning it all. I think it'll still be competitive. Arizona will be a little bit better, but I think it's these three teams. Now, I do believe this. If Aaron Donald decides to come back, and I think he will, people are going to have problems now with Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald. That's a problem if you have to throw the ball. And I think he might come back. You're not saying anything, but you're talking about two guys. Historically, Aaron Donald has, 111 sacks in his career, and Myles Garrett has 125. So good luck to you if you get yourself in the passing down, because you ain't blocking those guys. And the Rams are pretty good. Matthew Stafford, I don't know how much longer he's going to play. Marvelous player. They got an outstanding offense. Can they fix their defense good enough? I do know this. They're legit. They're a good team. Seattle, obviously, what they did last year in San Francisco, they're going to be right in it too. So this is one of the better divisions in football. I think the division that will come close to this division this year will be the NFC East. With Harbaugh going to the Giants. Philly, we know what Philly's going to do. Jaden Daniels will be healthy with Washington, right? So Dallas is Dallas. They went out and bought themselves a defense. Their offense is top 5 offense in the league. If they can just stop anybody, just be 15th in the league, the Dallas Cowboys got a good football team. So I think that division is going to be similar to the NFC West. A lot of teams over there have a chance to win 10 or more games.
And that's going to be a tough division. Jaden Daniels getting healthy, and I can't help, Coach, but ask you about Brandon Aiyuk, who was, pining toward being a Commander, and now it doesn't feel like he'll be a Commander. What have you made of the offseason for Brandon Aiyuk?
It is it's puzzling. It's puzzling because we had those guys. Rashad White obviously is with Jaden now, who played with Jaden at Arizona State as well. I don't know what Brandon is thinking or what he's doing, but I've had conversations with Jaden too, but I don't want to get into that. That's personal. But I don't know. That was the puzzlingest thing I've ever seen, and I'll leave it at that because I've coached the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally, Coach. Because, by the way, you're not alone in terms of, for example, I know TJ Houshmandzadeh was his personal coach. They've sort of stopped talking. TJ doesn't know exactly where that went. When you were coaching him, did you see any aspects of his personality that would lead you even potentially down a road like this?
Not at all. Not at all. No, I never saw anything like this, and I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get in the middle of it.
Yeah,
obviously because of John, and I just let's stay away from that conversation. I'll leave that one alone, and the 49ers will handle it the way they got to handle it. And it's just a shame because he's a good football player, and and a good person for the most part. But I don't know what has sprung this on and why this is all occurring. I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do we, and we've seen the Instagram stuff, and we're trying to make sense of it. But as we sit here in the middle of August, and August is getting late now, and so if you're a team and put yourself in the GM spot of any of the 32, and forget Brandon Aiyuk for a moment, but when you're talking about additions and bringing somebody in from the outside, is it getting a little bit late?
Yeah, but I think 49ers are set. If he comes back or whatever that situation, they're set. If he's there, he's there. If not, then they move on. Knowing John and those guys and Coach Shanahan, and it's not the less being said right now, the better. Because you're into it now. You're in practicing. You got another game or two, and then you're going to kick the ball off the reel. It starts counting. So I think they have moved on, and they're going to get this team ready to play and win games. When
was the last time you spoke to John, Herm?
I talked to him about a week and a half ago, actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And did anything stand out? How's he feeling about the situation they're in this particular camp?
Oh, I think they think they got a good football team, and if they can just stay healthy, and they do have a good football team. You kidding me? They won 12 games last year with a skeleton of a team. You know, half their team was beat up and still found a way to win. This is a winning organization. There's no doubt about that. Got a great head coach. They got players that get it. So I mean, it's this. It's kind of interesting. Like I said, this is one of the better divisions. I mean, it really is, and it's going to be fun to watch it. I mean, this is competitive. I mean, Seattle's not going anywhere. Obviously, the Rams scare me a little bit. If they can stay healthy, you know, if this Ram team can stay healthy, they're dangerous. I mean, they're dangerous. They got a quarterback we know they can play. I mean, he's running out of time, and he knows that. You know, he's only going to play so much longer, and so he knows this is an important season for the Rams, and the Rams know it as well. They have, you know, they're it's kind of interesting. This is a good division when you think about it.
It's going to be tough for whoever makes it through. It's going to be a little bit of a juggernaut and a little bit of a gauntlet. I wonder, Coach, if you were going to Australia for a game, would you go the McVay route, which is a day before, or the Shanahan route 8 days before?
I think I would probably go the Shanahan route. Yeah. Especially in Australia. I would go the Shanahan route. Because I think it's good. Your team gets away. They're there. You know, that's really getting away. You know, training camp, you say they're away, but they're really not if they're in the state that they play in. But when you go there and you go away, it's a lot of bonding going on now. You find a lot about guys. You know, you just do. So I think it's a good deal for them. I mean, to do it, you know, and there's a lot of things that go on with that. You really find out who you are, and you find out a lot about your teammates when you go that far away, because nobody's calling you. Nobody's calling you. You're in a different time zone. It's just you. It's just you and the players and the coaches. So I think it's great, to be quite honest.
Coach, good luck with the season. I'm sure we'll try to catch up with you again at some point. We're so appreciative of your time. Thank you.